Okay. Welcome, everybody. My name's Kim McHugh. I'm the awards chair for SCCPTA. Thank you for joining us. Sorry that the schedule got pushed back. It was a lot to squeeze in this morning. We're gonna go through this presentation quickly so you guys can have your lunch. We're gonna talk today about our awards program, our grants program, and the scholarship program that we have. With me on this presentation today is Wing Isom. She's our grant chair, and Deb Paul, she's our scholarship chair. Now, let me tell you something about these amazing ladies, okay? Wing last year gave away $2,000 worth of grants to our local units, okay? And that was the most grants awarded ever for Seminole County Council PTA. So thank you, Wing. You did an amazing job.
Thank you.
and Deb, oh my Lord, she gave out $4,000 worth of scholarships. You know, so if you don't know that the $50 that most of you local units put towards scholarship, it goes to our high school seniors, and that money is greatly appreciated. So I know everybody's having a tough time, but if you can send that $50 donation for scholarships, it really is a great program, and it's greatly appreciated by our graduating seniors. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Next slide. So first speaking is going to be Deb. She's going to talk about our scholarship program. And then Wing is going to go over the grants. I'm going to go over the awards and the county awards and the Florida PTA awards and how to apply for them. And then I have some of the last year's award winners on the presentation. We'll see how time allots. Hopefully we can get down there. If not, I'll provide you the link to watch our virtual award ceremony so you can learn about the amazing programs that our PTAs are putting on. So I am gonna transfer it to Deb.
Thank you, Kim. You did an awesome job. Okay, great. Hi, I'm Deb Paul. Scholarships over the high school seniors program and the information. You can see our goal is toward in academic performance. Thank you to all the PTAs that donated toward our scholarship fund last year, and we do need your help this year as well to send all these college students on their college journey. Next slide, please. These students excelled in academics and participated in various school and extracurricular activities, as well as demonstrating community involvement. They were chosen out of a record number of applications received by Seminole County Council PTA this year. Seminole County Council depends on donations from our local PTAs and PTSAs and individuals to fund college scholarships. Many thanks. You can read down the list here. We had Carson, Jaden Herbett, Mason Herbett, Talia Stills, Delaney Foss, Emma Powell, Charlotte Farr, and Steele Norton. And they're all attending different universities. And we had $4,000 that was donated, and we gave $500 out to each and every one of these students to them, because school starts this coming Monday for all of them. Next slide, please. Some of the eligibility for scholarships is to be a graduating senior. Now I don't post the actual application until the first of the year, because we want to make sure that everybody has passed the first semester. You do need to be a current resident of Seminole County for at least 2 years, be an active member of your school's PTA and PTSA, so they need to have their own card to be a member. They have to meet the GPA requirements for community college or a 2-year state college, community college or vocational technical school. They do need to be enrolled as a full-time student for the 2021-22 school year and present proof of college acceptance or processing in their packet that they're going to send in. Showing financial need is something you're probably going to have to talk about, and it should be expressed in detail in your family circumstances on the application or in your essay. Now, the essay is the most important part of the scholarship. that's where you're going to need to put in your strengths, your weaknesses, how you overcame hardships or difficulties, and how you became you and where you gotten to this senior year in your life. The official high school transcripts will be needed in envelopes. Your SAT and ACT scores will also be needed. 2 letters of reference. It could be from a community member, a counselor, a good friend, just evidence of your character. And it needs to be detailed in your application. And again, the applications will be found on the Seminole County Council PTA website. And the 4th, which is the first day after the winter break. And you have until March 12th, which is the last day before spring break, to turn in the application. If you have any questions, you can please contact me at scholarships@sccpta.com. And I thank you for viewing my presentation.
Before we move on to Wing, let me open the floor real quick for questions. So if you have any questions about scholarships for DED, you can either type them in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and ask.
Great. That means I must have covered all the material.
Great job, Deb. All right, go ahead, Wing. It's all yours.
Hey, thank you. Okay, so this is for SCCPTA grant opportunity. We have 3 different ones. As you see in the presentation, we have the leadership development grant, and then which is normally for you guys to go to the Florida PTA Leadership Convention in Innisbrook. So which normally happen in July next year. At this moment, we don't have a budget for that yet, but we'll be working on it late on the year. So we're looking at that, like especially when you have a lot of new people coming on board, that leadership conference is really good. Even though this year in July they did it virtually, it's still really good and very informative. Second one is called the Legislative Conference Grant. Normally this hold in January. I have looked at it earlier last week. They have not confirmed the date yet. Normally it's in Tallahassee. At this moment, obviously, we don't know if they will do virtual. But it's very informative. Remember what PTAs are all about. We started the PS to fight is advocate for the children. It's not just our own children, but all children. So this is one of the things that we can advocate through the legislation and what is being done at this process. The third and the last that we provide is the from Seminole County Prevention Coalition. They have donated fund for us, so we are able to provide the grant for you guys in order to provide education and supportive program within your school. I know this year will look a lot different than what last few years look like. Again, if you have questions, please email us or email me about that. Kim, you can go to the next slide. Legislative conference at this moment, again, based on the time, we don't have the date, but normally it's to decide for, let you guys to attend the conference, and you can apply the grant for the fee for the registration and maybe the cost for your state. We'll probably just need the your approved budget after your general meeting to look at the application. Go to next one, please. Okay, mini grant, which is for health, wellness, and safety. So you can only apply once per academic year. The application, we must get it before the event day. So let's say you have an event tomorrow, I'll need to get it by the end of today. Normally the mini grant cannot be more than $300. Those funds can use for a lot of programs. Obviously, this year is a little different. As the first semester go, as Misa also said earlier about the volunteer, you may not be able to be at school. You may do a lot of things virtually. So think outside the box. if you have any question, concern, I'm sure our Facebook group for the local president, or send me an email. We can talk about it and think about what could help you guys. And of course, talking with your board to see what you think it will be great as a program that you can link with and use this grant. We also need to have your, on the application form, we'll also need your budget that approved by general meeting. So technically, you can't really approve if you haven't have a general meeting yet, because your budget need to be approved by your general public before you can submit a grant request. Also, one of the criteria is you need to invite the Seminole Prevention Coalition member to go to your event, either virtually or if there's a physical event. They may or may not join, but it's just a require that you have to ask them. Any question before I go any further? Okay, go ahead, Kim.
Oh, it's me.
Okay, now it's for Kim.
All right. If anybody has any questions for Wing, if you can put them either in the chat box or you can unmute yourself and ask.
Oh, one last thing before Kim go along. Also, if you're not in our Facebook group for the local president or local unit for this year, I would suggest you join. I will try to share as much as possible for any other grant opportunity for our Seminole County. For example, the Seminole Care Act grant, the application is open next week on the 26th. So if you're interested, because technically your PTA is non-profit, which is a 501c3. So if you want to apply, you may want to look through the information of what requirement of what paperwork that you may need to gather right now in order to apply. It never hurt. You don't know what you could or could not get. You know, never hurt to apply, and maybe you'll be surprised, and maybe you can fund your own food pantry from your whole school for a whole year. You never know. Okay.
We have a question that what is the name of the grant again?
Yeah, it's Seminole Care Act. I will find the link and I'll post it there, but I will put on the name on there too also.
Okay.
I have a question about the Seminole Cares Act grant.
Go ahead.
I looked briefly at the requirements of it, and I was interested because I saw that nonprofits were eligible to apply. But I'm curious if anyone has also looked at the criteria, or anyone on this meet, to see how you're going to demonstrate the financial deficit or burden to PTAs. Myself.
I haven't personally looked at it ourselves, but I think, you know, obviously you can't, like a lot, like my old middle school, we used to use our school store to sell product to our kids, like snacks and drinks. The truth is, since March, we haven't sell anything. You know, like our school store has no income compared to the income I have the month before. I think that's what you can use your, like for my example, I can use my monthly bank account statement to show I have no income for April, May, and June compared to my income on January, February, and March. You know, obviously every school is a little different. If you're doing fundraiser, you can compare the one that you have this year with last year, because you can't, you know, it's not an event that you do every month, so it's a little different. So you have to look at it that way of the income that you're expected to come in, and suddenly because of this situation that is not coming in. I think that's what you have to show them.
I'm going to say that we actually have someone on our county board. I think it was, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think Mary Barker, our treasurer, actually applied for grants for the different PTA she sits on, and she got 2 of them. So maybe we can suggest to Shelley to do a session relatively quickly on key points on how to apply for that grant for local PTAs. So we'll put that on our to-do list, is to reach out to Shelley and see if we can put a session together. Otherwise, just email, I think the email, and I'll put it in the post in a minute, treasurer@sccpta.com, and she should be able to give you some guidance as well. Any other questions? All right, then it's my turn. Again, my name's Kim McHugh. I'm the awards chair, and this is my 3rd year as the awards chair. And last year was a challenge because usually we have this big, breakfast or luncheon to recognize all of our PTAs. And because of, the pandemic, we ended up doing a virtual show. And it was well received, and it was also lots of fun. So if you haven't watched the virtual award ceremony, I highly recommend you do so. I mean, one of the main missions of the awards is to present what other local units are doing, to share the amazing programs and the amazing things that our local units are doing, in the hopes that other local units pick it up and run with it. So I highly recommend that you watch the show. In the first 20 minutes of this show is a slideshow of pictures from local units. So if you want to skip through to minute 20, that's when the award ceremony actually starts. So let me move on. So why should you apply for awards? Well, we all volunteer for PTA. No one's getting paid. We do it out of the goodness of our hearts, but it's also easy to get burned out. So this is a great way to show your members and your board how much they're appreciated, what they do and the time that they put in for their PTA, how much it means for their school community and for their community. It's always nice to get that pat on the back, and especially getting recognized by your principal, that what you do matters to the school. And also, we've used it in the past for schools that I've attended that have won PTAs. We put our awards right there on our table when we're trying to get membership numbers up. And right now, you can post your award. Hey, join an award-winning PTA. If you say that, we won top PTA of the year, we won advocacy PTA of the year, then that means to your people that you're reaching out to for membership that you matter. You're not just fundraising, you're actually advocating for children, and you're part of a community that is active, and that means a lot. And so on my school, I'm the membership chair for South Seminole Academy, because we won 2 awards last year. We've seen so much membership increase just in this first week of school. It's incredible. And so that's one main reason. So, and also, if a business partner sees that you have lots of members and you're active on Facebook and you're an award winner, you draft that letter when you're looking for vendors or business partners that, this is what, my PTA is doing. This is the impact we're doing to the community. Help us, support our community. And it means something to them that that you've been recognized, whether it's a county level or state level, for all the work that you do. And I wanted to share, I've gotten there, when you go through the video of the virtual ceremony online, there's lots of videos of principals recognizing their PTAs, which I think is awesome. I chose one, which is the shortest one, to share in this presentation, just so you can see what winning an award and how your membership and your board, hearing the thanks from a principal, how it would really help. So I'm gonna play this video real quick. Can you guys hear it? No? There it is. Nope.
No, I can't hear either.
Oh, man. Okay, well, I guess we'll skip the video. I'm not sure why it's not working, because of course it worked when I did it before. So, I don't know. All right, well, anyhow. So, you can, I'm not sure why it's not working. Interesting. Oh, well. All right, I'll just go to the next slide. I highly recommend, basically it's in the virtual award ceremony, you'll see lots of videos from principals and assistant principals and Dr. Griffin thanking the local units for all their efforts. So now, one thing that we require in order to apply for an award is that you have to be in compliance. And compliance, there's state level compliance and there's county level compliance. So state level compliance is, are your bylaws up to date? Did you pay your membership dues? For county level compliance is, did you pay your county dues? Have you met the training requirements? Have you completed an audit? Did you submit your taxes and what have you? So if you have questions on whether you're compliant or not, you can email me or you can email compliance at Florida PTA, and they could also answer that as well. But when I receive an award application, if I see that you're not in compliance, I'm not just going to throw your application out. I will reach out to you and say, hey, this shows that you forgot to pay your county dues, and you're like, oh no, I thought we did that. Then, hey, you know what? I give you a grace period so you can pay your county dues, okay? Because my goal is not to kick anyone off out of their application process, it's to recognize all the hard work you're doing. So let's see, next slide. Okay, this year, we tried this last year. Last year we had a PTA of the Month program. This year we've kind of revamped that program, and what we're calling it is a Program of the Month. And so what we would like to do is to highlight some of the amazing things you guys are doing, especially when we're doing a lot of things virtually. And so what I ask is that as PTA members, whether it's your school or a neighboring school or what have you, if you see an amazing program, you're like, wow, what a great program, please email me and tell me about it, okay? Or share the link or tag me or something so that we can share it on our Facebook page. And then we will actually recognize that program as the Program of the Month, and we'll highlight, the steps that you did to make that program, and we'll also share it on our newsletter. So that's a great opportunity, and we're all in this together. So let's share the out of the box thinking that we're doing, and that's what the point of this program is. We're also doing a business partner of the month. Since we're not doing our face-to-face meetings and training, our vendors don't have the opportunity to have FaceTime, but some of our vendors are doing amazing things, and then they're a big supporter of our school community. So if you're working with a vendor, whether it's a vendor, a faith-based organization, a Girl Scout troop, a Boy Scout troop, whatever, if you have a community group that you feel has gone above and beyond and to help support the community, send me an email, let me know about that, because we'd like to highlight them as a way to say thank you for helping and supporting our school. My email is awards@sccpta.com. If Swing, can you put that in the messages, please? So, okay, let's see. Okay, now in the past we've had and we'll continue having our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Award. And this award is given to programs that are inclusive. And I'll highlight some of the award winners from last year, but it's, making sure that we provide inclusion for, kids with special needs, for diverse backgrounds. And so, that's that. And, we'll also, you can also reach out to Tristan. He's our DEI chair for ideas as well. We also have our communication award, and that award kind of wraps up social media, newsletter, websites. It highlights the schools and that are doing an amazing job reaching out to to their student body and to the parents. And these are great PTAs, local units, to look at what they're doing, so you can kind of emulate them. Now we have it's not really new. We have rebranded our advocacy award to Family Engagement Award. I think the advocacy, we found that we were having not as many applicants for that in the past. And so instead of calling it advocacy, we're going to just, it's family engagement, engaging families to advocate for children, basically. It's the same general principle, just a new fancy name. And then we have our top health and wellness program. Now this program ties into the money that Wing has. And a lot of our winners took advantage of the grants that are provided from the Prevention Coalition to host some amazing health and wellness programs. And this is where we highlight that. And then we have a top program award, that one program that is just amazing. And we would like to see other PTAs, emulate, is what that one's for. Now for these program awards, we hand out 2 awards, one on the elementary level and one for the middle/high school level. Now, our special recognition award. In the past, we've always had our top mission of the PTA, which is, to make every child's potential a reality by engaging and empowering families and communities to advocate for all children. And that's still one of our main awards. This year, we have a new award that's also our United as One award, which is our mission this year. That's our mission statement for a county PTA, United as One. And so this award is to recognize PTA, PTSA, that you can show that, your students, your staff, your admin, your community sponsors, your PTA has come together as one and done some amazing things for your community and for your school community. So that's a new award that we have this year. We also have our top community partnership award. That's to recognize whether it's a grant. So for instance, I know in some of the PTAs I've served on, Lowe's has done an amazing job of providing lots of funds to schools for their gardens and stuff like that. Well, you know what? It's nice to recognize when you have grants that are being issued, whether it's from Mathnasium, for what have you. This provides an opportunity to recognize those partners and say, thank you, we recognize your efforts, we appreciate your efforts. And so that's kind of a way to reach out to our business partners and say thank you and make sure they recognize that we appreciate what they're doing in the hopes that they'll give you even more money in the future. So, okay. Now we have a new category this year. We're actually doing some individual awards. This is something that the county PTA hasn't typically done, but it's something that is done on the state level. So we want to go ahead and introduce them here on the county level so we can encourage those winners to apply on the state level. So we're going to have an outstanding student volunteer, outstanding male volunteer, and our top principal awards. And I'm still working on the applications for those, so they haven't been posted yet. So we'll do some more awards training later in the year to give you a little bit more background on that one. And then we also have what I call our certificate awards or sticker awards. Typically, those are the ones that go on the certificate when we actually are able to hand them out. Otherwise, it'll be a recognition in the virtual award ceremony. But those include meeting your stretch award, paying your dues, attending your training requirements, donating to the scholarship fund, participating in reflections, supporting our outreach efforts, getting a grant, whether it's to the leadership or prevention coalition, and also meeting, membership goals, 100% faculty membership, meeting a minimum for community membership or grandparents, or being recognized, as a program of the month. I pretty much went through that already. Okay. Now I'm going to talk just briefly on Florida PTA Awards. A couple years ago, when I took over for county PTA, I tried to revamp our awards so they kind of coordinate with the Florida PTA Awards, in the hopes that, when you apply an application and you win, I'm going to encourage you to turn around and apply the same thing, the same information for Florida PTA. And it's worked, because we've gotten the last couple of years, so many Seminole County PTAs have been recognized on the state level. It's been very impressive. So these are just some of the award categories that Florida PTA has. And you can always go to floridapta.org and you can find that information there as well. I'm not going to click on this because I don't know where it's going to take me, but here's the link for floridapta.org/Florida-PTA-awards is the link for the application. Okay, now, you want to apply for an award. Well, how do I make my, award stand out? Well, make sure you actually apply. Step one, apply for an award. Okay, there's so many schools out there. I know I've been on that end where someone gets recognized for a wonderful STEM program, And you're like, well, we did that. Why didn't we get recognized? Because you didn't apply. Okay, so you have to apply in order to win, and be recognized. So, and trust me, the application process is not onerous. It's just literally filling out a Google form. And we are going to update the applications this year to allow you to go ahead and attach a video and attach pictures, where before it was kind of, the format we were using wasn't allowing that. So we're in the process of updating all our forms. They'll be on our website. They'll allow you to go ahead and attach photos and attach a video of your program. So that's number one. Fill out the entire application. Make sure you're in compliance, okay? And the more detail that you provide about the event, the better. But let us know, what you did, who it benefited, how much did it cost? Did I have any grants to help support this program? And also, we're planning on updating the application form so that you can apply, you can fill out one application and apply for various awards. So you'll see lots of schools get awards for multiple categories for similar programs. So you don't have to apply just for one program. So if you did something amazing and it's, then apply for top health and wellness, top program, top child advocacy, because we have different schools applying for these different awards. There's no reason that maybe you don't win a top program, but maybe you will in top health and wellness. But we can't give you that if you don't apply for all of them. So the same application, for the most part, the same details can be used to apply for multiple awards. And our Florida PTA, the Florida PTA is usually the May 1st deadline. Ours is usually it's a function of when the breakfast is, but usually it's end of March, early April. But we'll throw that out there later when we get it. Again, this is the link for our YouTube. I highly recommend you watch it. So it was my 10 minutes or 45 minutes of fame. Okay. So I'm going to go through some of our award winners from last year. Now, Crystal Lake Elementary, they won for 3 different award categories. They won Top Health and Wellness Award, they won a Top Program Award, and they won the Top PTA Award. And they had for their lots of great programs that focused on diversity, equity, inclusion, health and wellness, and they're very active in the community, and so they were recognized. Lake Brantley High School was recognized for 2 awards. They got the Communication Award winner and the Top Mission Award winner. They have an amazing website with lots of resources for parents and students. But on top of that, they have an incredible newsletter packed full of information that pulls in, articles from their resource officer, from their principal, from the student president, and from local communities. And it's so informative. And that's really what pushed them over the top. So I highly recommend, if you're trying to figure out, well, how do I improve my communication? Go look at Lake Brantley's Facebook page, website, and they post their newsletter on their website. And then you can see what an award-winning program looks like, okay?
Hey, Kim, they got a question. Yeah. They're asking, when is our SCCPTA award deadline at this moment? Is that for each award?
All the awards will be due at the same time, and they're usually due around the 1st of April. But we have it, but it's going to be a function of, usually we put the 1st of April, and then we usually push it back. So, but right now it's not set in stone. So we're still trying to come up with that, but usually it's around the 1st of April.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Casselberry Elementary got recognized for our Top Communication Award and the Top Advocacy Award. And, for the communication, again, they have a constant daily Facebook posts. They actually attended community events. So they set up a booth at the City of Casselberry Art and Music Festival and other festivals they had. What a great way to get to engage the community. They also put a little library up for their local neighborhoods to be able to check out books and, for the students. And they have, again, a monthly newsletter. I know a lot of PTAs were like, we don't need a newsletter. We have Facebook, but it's nice to get that newsletter. And I know a lot of times the administration sends out newsletters, but it's not necessarily the same thing that the parents or students, are looking for. Let the PTAs, your members, know what you're doing. The more that you show them what they're doing, the more they'll reciprocate and get more engaged, and you'll get more members. South Seminole County got recognized for their Diversity, Equity, Inclusion Award and Advocacy Award. And, in middle school and high school, it's Parent-Teacher Student Association. So it's important to engage your student body. And we're so used to in elementary school, it's parents, teachers, admin, but, once you get into that middle school level, these children, they're not little kids anymore. They're young adults, and they have a voice of their own, and it should be PTA's role to teach them and give them the forum to voice their opinions, to give them an opportunity to step up and speak on issues that matter to them. Because as a parent of a teenager, it's hard to figure out what's going on in their brain. This gives them a perfect opportunity for us to know what are the issues that matter for our teenagers. So this forum at South Seminole provided that opportunity. It basically brought a diverse group of students together and asked them, what can PTA do for you? What are we doing well? What do we need to improve on? What are issues we need to address? They listed all these problems. And then the next student forum, we said, okay, you guys said we needed to fix this. Okay, how do we fix it? And make them involved in the process on how to improve issues that they may have in the school. Engage them, make them part of the process. And that way, when things are fixed or moving in the right direction, then you have that voice of students talking to their peers, saying that school cares, the PTA cares, we matter. And it makes a big difference. I don't know how many attended Tristan's meeting earlier this morning, but the diversity, equity, inclusion, there's a big focus right now in our community as a whole. And there's schools out there that are doing amazing things for this. But it's making sure that not only that you have equal opportunity for all, but you have equity, so everybody, is included. And he gave this great example of having a snow cone party. And one student not be able to just had a cup of ice because they were allergic to dye. And it's understanding and trying to, when you're putting a program together, understanding what are the limitations. We want to make sure we're including everyone, and making sure you're putting and thinking about these issues. So if you're putting an ice cream social, hey, make sure you have that dairy-free option. So for Goldsboro Elementary was the DEI winner last year, and they didn't just do a single event; they did a year-long event. So all their communication was both in English and Spanish. They highlighted the diverse culture that they have, including all the staff and parents and students, and they had a culture night where they invited all the different parents and communities members from different parts of the world to come in and share their culture, share their food. That was a real fun event. And Hagerty High School won for our Health and Wellness Award. And what a great program. And if you go to that virtual award ceremony, Hagerty's PTA president actually went through and discussed the process that they did. But it was focused on mental health. And with, all the staying at home for extended times, that's a real struggle for our teenagers. They're social in nature, and not being able to reach out and hug and touch and be with their friends, it has a big impact on them. So the program that Hagerty put out there, and I'm hoping that we have another session on mental health later on in the year to really share what they did, because it provided the tools for the parents and the students to recognize when someone needs help and what you can do. So kudos to Hagerty. They did an amazing job. And Seminole High School was recognized for their college and career center. And I mean, I now have a high schooler. I can't believe it. And, you know, I'm already starting to stress out about how am I going to pay for college? You know, well, Seminole High School and a lot of our other high schools provide all that information on their website for parents. You know, here's, you know, how to, you know, apply for scholarships. And they actually have a career night. Well, they'll bring in representatives from local universities, from community colleges, the guidance counselors, you know, preparatory, you know, test prep, you know, community support, and basically you get all your questions answered, and you get that support you need to help your student go from high school to college. So that's a great idea. I think every high school should have a program like this. Well, this is just a quick highlight of all the stuff that all the winners for on the county level. But a lot of these winners were also recognized on the state level. So I wanted to give a shout out to our Florida PTA winners. So Crystal Lake was recognized for their Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and their Special Needs Students with Unique Abilities Award, as well as the Local Achievement Award. Let's see, Sterling Park was recognized for All Children Are All Children Award for their amazing pantry. And Seminole County PTSA was recognized for their President's Program Award. And I think I forgot to put Seminole High School was also recognized for their Career Center. And that's all I have.